Alright, what is up guys? Today is August 21st, 2017. Happy Eclipse Day. And today I thought I'd do a video going over my full collection of elevator parts as well as my elevator keys. It's been a little while since I've done a whole lot with elevators. I haven't had a lot of time to go out and film elevators. But I was going through the room today and I've had all these parts sitting in the back corner of my room. And they have been collecting a lot of dust. So I figured I'd pull them out, clean that corner out, clean off these parts, wipe them down, lay them out, and make a video of them. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. So the first thing I thought I'd say for all those of you who don't know, every single Dover part in my collection actually came off of the same elevator. Except for this guy right here. This guy I had for a little while before I got all these parts, but besides this, every single Dover part, all of those guys, the car panel, they all came from the same elevator in the JP Morgan Chase Bank office building, which was demolished last year. So anyway, I'm just gonna go over pretty much every single part. I'm not gonna spend too much time on each part, but I'm just gonna do a quick explanation of everything, and like I said, after I do the parts, I'll do an elevator. I'll do a part on my elevator keys because you guys haven't seen them in a long time. So, starting with the Dover Impulse car panel, this is it. I've already done a few videos on this when I first got it last year, but not too much has changed with it. It's from 1989. You know, this was a 4-story hydraulic elevator, and for being in a bank office building, this is something I haven't mentioned before. This panel has a surprising amount of vandalism, considering the application that it was being used for. There's a lot of scratching on it. There's some scratching on the indicator, and the funny part is if you actually look at the panel with the right amount of, if you look at it at the right angle and with the right amount of light, you can actually see some messages that were scratched into the panel at some point, and this one actually says slow with an exclamation point. I didn't think the elevator was slow, but I guess someone else did. Mike sucks. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. There it is. You can barely see it right there. Mike sucks. Whoever Mike was, I guess he sucked. And then just some other random scratching all over the panel, but still, I'm certainly not complaining. This is a great part. I think I'm one out of only 2 people on YouTube to have an Impulse COP, the other one being a Diesel Doocy. And I'm very fortunate to have this part. The construction manager who was in charge of the demolition of the building was overseeing the building demolition and then the construction of the new CVS pharmacy that is on the property now. He spent a lot of extra time on the property with me. We were on our hands and knees in the elevator car when it was like 15 degrees outside, prying this thing out of the elevator car. That was pretty funny. And but good times, good times, and I got myself a really sweet panel here for free. So a very nice part, a very nice piece to have in the collection. It is a really cool piece. A lot of other people don't have this, so I am very fortunate. So next I'll move down to my smaller COP. A lot of other people have smaller panels like this. This is an EPCO Circleline panel. Not sure exactly what year it's from. The elevator that this panel came off of I know much less about than this elevator. It could have been a Westinghouse, it could have been a Montgomery. I'm not quite sure what kind of elevator this panel came off of. My dad brought this home from his work 2 or 3, maybe closer to 3 or 4 years ago. And it's got your good old clicky Circleline buttons. It's got your barrel keys, which take the Innovation 513, or EX513, I believe it is. You got a manual stop switch on this one. Same thing on the Impulse panel. A lot of these have the keyed stop switches. This is one of the ones that has the older manual stop switch. Moving down to the rest of the Dover parts here, we got a Dover Impulse lantern lens cover. We have a Dover Impulse internal car lantern right here with a chime box. So, this thing's in pretty good shape. It still works just fine. I need to replace the bulbs in it, but there it is. The chime's right there, and there's the up arrow, there's the down arrow. Pretty basic. I was actually considering, since I have this extra part, I was considering swapping this one out for this one, changing these out because this one has a scratch on it. But I figured I wouldn't, because if there's a possibility, which, this won't happen, but if I ever find a damaged impulse lantern which has one of these missing, I can put it on. Anyway, I'll go over the rest of the parts we have here. We have the exterior lobby position indicator from the Dover. This was sitting in the lobby right above the elevator doors, and it had not actually worked right in a long time, but I replaced all the bulbs in it. Same thing that's on the car panel, just made to be mounted outside the elevator in its own special housing. So there's that. We've got 2 out of the 4 call stations from this elevator. These are both intermediate call stations. This is the one that came from the 2nd floor of the building. Both 1980s soft Dover buttons right here. This call station I like a lot because it has a little bit of both. It's got a 1990s switch in it for the up button, which was replaced, and then we got the original 1980s soft button right here. So there's that. We got 2 key switches. I believe this one came from the 3rd floor. This is the hoistway access switch for inspection service. It's spring-loaded, so if you would turn the key that way, that would move the elevator car up. Key that way, it would move the elevator car down. Then you got the 1st floor lobby phase 1 fire recall switch right here, which was mounted at eye level to the right of the elevator, right above the call station. Then I got a lot of brails from the elevator too. I think the bigger brails right here, these were added after the elevator was installed. I think these are third-party brand brails right here. I don't think they're actual Dover brails. They could be, but I think these are just aftermarket. Same thing with these. These were added by J.P. Morgan Chase, these brails right here. But typically you don't see these on your impulse buttons. Then I think these are actually the original Dover numbers right here. I think these are actual Dover parts right here, but these are just the numbers that go outside the elevator on the side of the door, pretty much. I got both of them from 2 and 3. I didn't get them from the 1st floor or the basement, though. And I got 2 of these from the 1st floor, 2 of them from the 2nd floor, and I only got 1 from the 3rd floor. So, but yeah, there's the full collection of elevator parts. Now it's time to go over the keys. Let's take them out of the panel here. A lot of you guys haven't seen the keys in a long time, but I'll just flip through these really quickly. The collection hasn't changed a whole lot from the last time you guys saw them. We've got my Dover H2395 key, Dover H2389, Dover H1848, Dover H1846. Most of these are original keys. In fact, all of them are original keys except for a few back here. We got a Dover 5074 micro switch key for the micro switches. We got an Adams MM101 key. I believe these are my Otis keys. We got an Otis, or no, this is my ThyssenKrupp key. ThyssenKrupp L203. These are my Otis keys. We got an Otis UTA, Otis UTF. I believe these are Schindler now. Yeah, these are my Schindler keys. This is a Schindler OC01, Schindler OC04, Schindler H301, Schindler H341, and here are my barrel keys: Innovation EX 513, Innovation EX, I think this is my 515, and my EPCO 1 key, which actually is labeled EN1. So the camera's not going to focus in on that, but there's all the elevator keys. Anyway, there's everything I have to show you guys, and some exciting news, possibly. Early next year, I may be getting some more elevator parts to add to this collection. That's the thing I was going to say. This collection is pretty small in quantity, but in my opinion, it's pretty big in quality. Because, like I said, not a whole lot of people have an Impulse COP. Like I said, I think I'm only 1 out of 2 people on YouTube to actually have an Impulse COP. And not too many people have their own elevator panel. Not too many people have their own elevator panel, period. Or parts like this. So, but more people have parts like this, you know, than parts like that. So, anyway, as I was saying, I may be getting some more parts early next year. And we'll just have to see about that. That's not a promise, but there's a big possibility I will be getting quite a few more parts early next year, so I will keep you guys updated about that. But thank you guys for watching today, and that'll be it.